Single women keep women single.
So what's going on YouTube? So sometimes, when I look around YouTube, I see, people giving dating advice. And sometimes, especially for young ladies, it seems like the advice is intentionally bad, as if it's almost the point is to mislead, right? I want to show you an example, right? So this, I think you've seen this one around the internet. So I'll let you watch the beginning of it.
46 years old, and I don't have a husband to take care of me. I still need my mama. I still need my sister. It sucks. Because all the good men have gotten married in their 20s and 30s because they're good men.
Some men are staying.
Okay, so if this were my sister, right? And
Some men are staging.
okay, hold on. If this was my sister and were giving her advice, I would tell her, calm down, think things through, and let's start thinking about the kinds of guys that, that might be looking for someone, and let's be realistic about it, right? And if I were talking to a younger girl, especially a girl that's in her, 20s or 30s, and let's say that she's not in a super high power career, so she doesn't really have an opportunity to meet someone in her career field that's going to be a high earner, I would tell her, if you're in your younger years, start looking for your mate early, either someone who has already arrived or someone with potential, and try and solidify that, before 27, 28, because you're going to be competing with 21, 22-year-olds when you get into your 30s. But of course, that's not the advice that we're going to hear here. That we're going to hear.
Her rant to bash feminism and convince young girls to settle. Here's the thing, girl, even if you did settle for a sweet, simple guy in your early 20s, you wouldn't know how that shit would turn out.
Okay, so if you settle for a guy in your early 20s, you wouldn't know how that would turn out, right? But you can say that about any decision. If I go to a certain restaurant, I don't know if they're going to make a good plate of food. I think they are. There's a good chance that they are, but there's a possibility that they'll undercook the steak, overcook it, the service will be bad. That just comes with the territory. There's always a risk for every decision that you make. But to flatly say that if you get married in your 20s, it's not going to work out, what is the alternative?
You wouldn't know. If you watch interviews of domestic abuse survivors,
and it jumps from getting married at 20 to domestic. Okay, I want you got to see this jump here.
shit would turn out. You wouldn't know. If you watch interviews of domestic abuse survivors or simply divorced people, you'll see how many problems only emerge after they're married and have kids. Second, you don't want to rely on your original family. But is relying on a man any better?
Okay, so there's the second point. Don't rely on a man. So, okay, so you're going to rely on yourself, which is fine. You're fine to do that. But you can't complain about not being able to rely on a man if you never take the chance to rely on a man.
Just because some men are married doesn't mean they are good men. I've dated men divorced in their 40s. Dating them makes me understand why some women would rather losing everything and live with their mama than living with those men. You might be one of those women if you settled in your 20s. And
okay, so you might be one of those women if you settle in your 20s, but you might if you settle in your 30s or your 40s, in your 50s, or it might not happen. That's just risk. That's just, you have to, I'm assuming, a certain amount of risk when you make a decision.
guess what? Those women are now in their 40s, single just like you. I get it, you feel lonely. And you have this fantasy that if you did this or that in your early 20s, you wouldn't have these problems. Well, guess what? You can have worse problems if you settled.
Okay, so this is basically about not settling, right? So basically the argument is if you get married in your early 20s, you could get a divorce. Okay, if you get married in your 30s, you could get a divorce, but that's the logic. So don't settle ever. That's basically the plan. So we gotta look at these comments. We gotta look at these. First comment: I'm 57. I said it once and I'll say it again. Get a passport, live your life. It will happen when it's supposed to. Until then, enjoy your life. This is advice from a 57-year-old woman. What would Kevin Samuel say about that?
Single women keep women single.
Yeah, I think that's what he would say. So next comment. I almost got married in my early 20s. I'm 39 now and don't regret it. But the marriage didn't have a chance. Kevin Samuels would say,
single women keep women single.
Yeah, I think that's what he would say. I mean, how can you take a leap of faith if you never take the leap? You got to take the leap. Okay, next one. Let's see. What else we have? I also settled, don't. Your 20s are for dating. Don't make the mistake that I did.
Single women keep women single.
Your 20s are for dating? Oh, man. Why is she assuming her husband would take care of her when she's ill? Has she spoken to married women recently? And look at that. Look at 4,046 comments.
Single women keep women single.
I mean, you would think that the advice would be more logical, like maybe you should consider dating someone at a church, or why don't you, it's just all of the advice is what's going to go wrong. Being married to the wrong person is worse than being alone in your 40s. I mean, I agree with that, but the question is, how do you define what the right person is? I mean, is the right person Chris Pratt? I mean, is it Tom Brady? Because clearly it's not Tom Brady, because Tom Brady didn't make it work. And who is the right person? It's a bad idea to build your life around a partner. Build your life, love your family and your friends. A partner should add, not to, and not replace anything. So I would imagine your husband would be your family. I mean, your kids could be your family until they turn teenagers, then they leave. Kevin Samuels
Single
again.
women keep women single.
Yeah. She needs to talk to the wives who can't even counter their husbands. Many of them are suffering. I mean, that's anecdotal. I mean, wives are suffering. I mean, oh boy, oh boy.
Single women keep women single.
And a bad marriage can ruin you, especially with kids. I mean, again, there's risk. There's risk in every decision we make. Right. The men in her comments were saying, Kevin Samuels warned y'all about this. Laugh my ass off. What?
Single women keep women single.
Of course, they're trying to convince her to settle. That keeps them from having to change their behavior.
Single women keep women single.
Getting married was the worst decision I ever made. I am in my 40s and happily divorced. Do not settle.
Single women keep women single.
Who are you waiting for? Are you waiting for Christopher Reeves in his prime to come through the door? Are you waiting for Denzel Washington? Like, everyone settles. Settling is a part of life. I want to eat a T-bone steak tonight. I can't. I'm going to eat a bowl of ramen noodles instead. Okay, I'm settling for ramen noodles. What's the problem with that? It's being realistic. And so that should take us back to the first comment, right? I mean, look. I mean, Kevin Samuels, he said it the best, man. I mean, when he said this,
single women keep women single.
That's what he's talking about. None of this advice is be more realistic about your choices. Go to a church. Find a place where there's some nice men. It's all about, if you get married, it's going to go wrong. Don't give up your 20s. Keep your standards high forever. And this woman who we're talking about in this TikTok, so you can see her, this woman, she's not crying because not settling. She's upset because she hasn't found anyone yet. And this is the advice that she followed. That's how she's where she is now. She needs to do the opposite of this advice. Find someone that she really liked when she's about 26, 27, maybe 30-ish, and settle down and try and make it work. And if it goes wrong or there's some level of, issues, get out of it and do the necessary healing and repeat the step. But this kind of advice is just wild to me. It's wild. Well, anyways, I just want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. But if you have a girlfriend and she has single friends, I would advise you to either you need to tell her to stop talking to those single friends unless they're really marriage minded, or you need to let her go, because imagine if your girl puts up a TikTok and says, oh, me and my boyfriend got to a fight, what should I do? And she gets this avalanche of advice like these, your relationship is over. That's over, player. Anyways, take care, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.